the woman you're about to meet knows what living on the streets is like. She was a teenage runaway who turned her life around.
Now, Lauri Burns is here working to help other runaways with nowhere to go by opening a brand new shelter. It's in Venice Beach, and she's joined by Jordan Jovanovich and Ashley Moody. Ladies, thanks for being here.
Lauri,
Thanks for having us.
Let's start with you. How is the teen homeless population and problem different from the general homeless problem?
Oh, yeah, it's very different. Well, first of all, our priority is kids exiting foster care to homelessness, which is about 25,000 a year. But the younger kids don't want to be with the older homeless population. So where there's a lot of shelters for older people, the younger kids aren't going there because they're scared of being attacked or strange things happening to them there. So they're still outside. They're on the beach, they're in the parks and things of that nature.
When you say younger kids, what ages are you talking about?
I'm talking 12 to 24, kids that have ran away, as well as kids that have left foster care or left their homes at 18.
And in the general homeless population, there's a lot of mental health problems. Is
Right.
that the case with the runaway teens or the teen homeless population?
Well, I think there's a window of opportunity when a teenager goes homeless where you can still catch them, and that's what we're looking at doing, and bring them back to safe shelter and get them back enrolled in college and such, where they might transition into one of those people that is mentally ill and on the street. I have met a few, and Jordan, who's with me today, was recently homeless in Venice. So the Venice Beach PAD, which stands for Protection and Direction, is kind of like a hub in our community in Venice, because there's a ton of homeless kids in Venice, to all of the shelters in the United States. So we serve 17,000 shelters, we refer to.
Oh my gosh.
So you don't just one day decide to open a shelter in Venice. I mean, how long has this process taken, and what was involved in it?
So the teen project is 4 years old, and we've moved very quickly. We have an Orange County house where we have kids that were homeless living and going to college. We have a street outreach. We have a national text home program where any youth in the nation could text the word shelter and their zip code to the short code 99,000, and it'll return a local shelter regardless of where you are in the U.S. And then the Venice Beach planning started about 9 months ago, and we've just been very fortunate. Designers, 8 different designers came in and pro bono designed the whole place for free, and we've had some wonderful people. Right.
And what about you, young ladies? How did you end up homeless, Jordan?
Well, I aged out of foster care at 18, and I was in Minnesota, and then I came out to California about 3 months ago, and then well, it's warmer, and you can't sleep outside of Minnesota, and you can here, and I wasn't able to.
There were not social services available for you in Minnesota?
No, I mean, no.
So you came here, what, on a bus?
That's that safety net that Mitt Romney was talking about, right?
The very poor.
Yeah.
You came here on a bus, or?
No, I came out here with a friend of mine.
And you had no place to go, nothing?
No, and I had no place in Minnesota either,
So this has been a huge savior for you, I would imagine.
Oh, yeah.
Ashley, is your story similar?
It's a little different. I mean, I was with relatives in foster care, but I also got kicked out at 18, and I was kind of floor surfing. And
you ended up homeless also?
Not on the streets.
Not
homeless.
on the street, but no place to live, essentially.
Floor surfing as opposed to couch surfing, so you didn't even have a couch.
Not even couch surfing.
Right. No.
So how did you get involved with Lauri and her organization?
Through my mom.
Through your mom?
I actually reconnected with my mom.
Really?
And she knew of Lauri and her program.
And where is she?
She's in Orange County.
So what about living with her? That wasn't an option?
No. She was...
It's a long story?
Yeah.
So how many teenagers are we talking about? Let's just say in Southern California. If you had to say how many teenagers are homeless, is there a reliable figure?
There's 25,000 aging out a year in the U.S. and 4,000, I think more like 4,200 of that. So a large population in California aging out, and then that's in addition to the runaways. And all I can say is standing on the streets, it's too many to count, and it's devastating. And that's why we opened up the Venice Beach, because one program, regardless of what homeless shelter you have, is not enough. The magnitude of the problem is too big. So we decided we would be a portal to all the programs.
Well, Lauri, tell us briefly about your background, because surely you are the success story. You sort of embody what you hope for these two girls.
Right. So I exited foster care at age 18, and I thought homelessness was my own bad luck. I didn't realize all the statistics. I ended up on the street and eventually turned into a prostitute to gain money to
Right.
get myself a hotel room, and my life was almost taken at 23. I walked out on the streets at 19, so it was many dark years and very traumatic out there. But then when I was taken by 2 gunmen, the next day I turned myself around, got sober, and then it seemed like abused kids just kept on coming into my life, and then it seemed like a natural progression to become a foster mom. So I fostered 31 teens at this point, at-risk teens, and then I found out about the homeless situation, and I was completely devastated that this could happen in America, that kids could just be pushed out to the street at 18. And
well, I mean, Christine Devine does that Wednesday's Child with talking about kids in foster care and adoption, and has talked about this problem a lot.
Yeah,
you know,
aging out
at
of the
18,
system.
you're done, and there's no place for you to go.
And frankly, I think if we looked at the return on investment on the whole thing, to keep them in care would be like $10,000 to $20,000 a year, and when they re-enter through reactive systems like welfare and jail, that's $115,000 to keep someone in jail. So it just doesn't make sense.
We here in Southern California, do we have a different problem because it is LA and it's Hollywood? And in other words, are we attracting more of these teens to come to the West
like
Coast?
Jordan.
Yeah, Jordan.
Would you rather be
Jordan
homeless
sort of
in Minnesota or Southern California?
So Jordan was coming to LA thinking, you know, it's a great place to go. Maybe I could, you know, anything could happen in LA. It's Hollywood. And then she ends up sleeping in a storefront. And I think Venice Beach is just like a magnet for these kids.
So what's your day like now? What do you do?
Well, I've only been in the house for about a week and a little over a week, and I don't know. I'm getting into school. She's helping me get my ID and my birth certificate, and
great.
I'm
high school?
No,
College.
cosmetology.
Oh, great. And who paid for all this?
We go out to the public and we seek grants just from talking about our kids. We don't get any government, no federal, no state. No city, no government
All private
funding.
donation?
Yes, because we don't want restrictions. Like we have one little girl that's going to school to be a doctor, and usually they cut off at 2 years. And she's living in my personal home now. I have 4 girls living with me now. But we don't want to restrict them. We want to treat them like they're our own kids.
We want to show you some information. This is where the shelter is located, 76 Market Street in Venice. You can call them at this phone number, 888-483-3646, or probably easier still, and probably what you really want people to do is go to the Teen Project website at theteenproject.com. And I presume you can make a private donation that way as well.
Definitely on the donate page.
All right.
Yes.
Very
Well,
good.
thanks. Good luck.
Thanks for having us.
Cosmetology school is good.
Yeah.
You can come back and do our hair one day.
Exactly.
All right.
All right.
Thanks. Good luck.
Thank you very much.